Hello and welcome back to my Samurai Jack Retrospective. I'm your host, That Minnesotan Guy. Now, before I start this review, I would like to talk about how the universe fascinates me.
Ah, the universe, filled with wonder and many mysteries. Whether it's Mars, asteroids, or the possibility of alien life, I'm always thinking to myself about what could possibly be found among the stars.
With the right scientific minds, my dream of exploring the universe could eventually become a reality. Let's just say that I would be the first to board a colonist ship and travel to various planets. Say, if there's a planet that's very similar to Dagobah, I'm all for!
Hello there, that Minnesotan guy. I am the great one, known as Professor Clemmer.
What sorcery is this?
Allow me to explain. I come from a place known as Earth 1942. It is a science-based world where humans advanced their technology so quickly that we were able to conquer other planets and be the only living race in the entire universe. And now, I wish to take over your world, Earth Prime.
Wait, I live on Earth Prime?
Indeed you do. I could explain all the differences between your Earth and my Earth, but that's not important right now. Join me in my lecture as I talk about how I will destroy your scientists, starting with Elon Musk.
Okay, look, I don't have time for this right now. I'm doing a review show right now, and contacting my doppelgangers across the multiverse wasn't exactly in my plans. One other thing before I terminate your transmission. I agree with you that there's something really sketchy about Elon Musk, but you can't just destroy him. On my Earth, we have morals. Goodbye, Professor Clemmer.
Inferior specimen. I will show you the greatness of my Earth eventually, and then you will be on your knees.
Sorry about that, folks. I had no idea that I was connected to other versions of me across the multiverse. And come to think of it, I should probably upgrade my security protocols. Anyway, let's continue with Samurai Jack, Episode 5, Jack in Space.
We open with Jack wandering around the land as the sounds of nature are heard.
There are many scenes like this throughout the series, and let me tell you, they are quite peaceful to watch. Speaking of which, after I'm done with this review, I think I'll go outside for a walk and enjoy nature myself. I do need the sunshine, after all.
Jack stops by a river for a drink.
This is a crucial character trait of Jack. Remember this, because you will see this behavior in future episodes.
Jack runs from the noise until he reaches a rocket station filled with scientists.
Praying mantis spots. I guess they should be threatening enough. Ah, quite the arsenal they have there.
The mantis spots inspect the area and declare that the scientists are to be exterminated because their station and vehicle are unauthorized. They begin to attack, but Jack manages to stop them.
Or does he?
Well, according to my calculations, our chances of escaping are now 6,352,271 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Now, a lot of the scientist characters have similar colors with their helmets. However, a few stand out with different colors. I'll be calling these few characters based on their helmet color because I honestly don't know any of their names, with the exception of Frederick.
The scientists then begin to discuss about what to do next. Yellow Helmet remains optimistic,
We still have a chance!
while Green Helmet remains logical.
If we launch our escape rocket before the failsafe warning head informs our crew of our whereabouts, we will succeed.
Pink Helmet then tells everyone about the incoming orbital blockade. Jack apologizes for bringing unwanted attention, and Yellow Helmet suggests that he helped them through the blockade. Green Helmet and Purple Helmet approve of this, while Frederick remains unsure.
I will gladly help. I am grounded. I cannot fly.
Hang on. Can I see that shot again? I didn't know Green Helmet had a twin brother. Man, how did my younger self not see this? It does not matter, I guess. Oh yeah, you might not be able to fly physically, Jack, but I know that scientists have something good up their sleeve.
Jack is then given a series of tests to see if he is fit for outer space. Fortunately, he passes and is given a suit.
Now I am more than 100% confident that the colonists of the future will have to go through this. Oh, and I'm going to experiment with the music right now. Tell me what you think of this.
Anyway, Jack tests the hand guidance system, but has some difficulty with the navigation. He gains control, and is given some drones as target practice. Later that night, the scientists throw a party and discuss about their new home.
Soon we shall be at our new home.
We'll finally be able to use our science for good.
I'm sorry to say this, but don't get your hopes up that high. Who knows? Maybe you'll land on a world that is relatively quiet and eventually get attacked by xenomorphs who want to spread terror across the galaxy.
I, too, desire to find my home.
Through a quick montage of previous episodes, Jack tells the scientists about who he really is.
I'm guessing that any viewers who were late to the party with the premiere movie at episode 4 needed this in order to get up to speed. Personally, I'm okay with this. The series hasn't gotten that far yet, and it feels appropriate to help newcomers out with the events that are going on.
Green Helmet explains to Jack that if he can get into the escape pod before they hit light speed, he'll be able to get back to the past.
Just make sure you're in the pod before we hit light speed. The rest will take care of itself.
Starting with this episode, this is one of the many attempts for Jack to return to the past. However, I'll talk about that when we get to this episode's climax.
The next morning, the scientists successfully launch their rocket. Unfortunately, the blockade is ready for them.
You must be in the pod when we make the jump to warp drive.
The odds are quite staggering against you if you are not in the pod.
To infinity and beyond!
The first wave attacks, and they are revealed to be tick bots. Jack takes a good amount of them out until they start digging into the hull. Jack cuts them off, but the heads keep digging. Jack then remembers an old trick.
I've always disliked ticks. But hey, it's nice to know that the writers of the show made the tick bots act like real-life ticks.
Jack lights his sword on fire. This is awesome, by the way, and he manages to finish off the remaining heads. Mosquito bots then start draining the fuel, but Jack manages to stop them.
Remember back when I said that wasp bots would be more of a challenge for Jack? Well, it looks like I got my wish granted. And one more thing I want to point out to you all. I remember watching this episode on Toonami Jetstream, and the footage would skip ahead to when Jack defeats them all. I guess the service had bugs that needed to be fixed with Jack's sword.
The wasp bots fire guided missiles, but Jack manages to destroy them. He then starts cutting his way through them and uses their missiles against them. Jack makes it to the pod, but the wasp bots begin to form a giant gun.
Ah yes, the wasp bots can form into the Death Stinger in case they need to take out large, fast-moving objects.
Jack heads out to stop the wasp bots, knowing that he can't take the risk of them hitting the rocket. The scientists try to dissuade him from this.
Now, look here. I hate to tell you this, but Jack is in the right here.
As the gun powers up, we get a suspenseful ticking clock moment here as Jack races to destroy it so that the scientists can escape. The gun fires, and Jack successfully blocks the shot.
Call me crazy, but I'm confident that the gun would have hit the rocket even before it went to light speed. It's sometimes best not to trust the odds.
Jack deflects the shot, and the gun explodes. Unfortunately, the blast radius knocks Jack back to Earth.
I know this is a cartoon and all, but realistically, you wouldn't be able to survive an impact like that.
We end this episode with Jack witnessing the rocket's flash and continuing on his journey.
So that was Jack in Space. Though it felt very standard, I still enjoyed this episode very well. This episode continues the trend of Jack helping others, and as a result, we get great action sequences, a good story, and some memorable music to back it up. Now, are there any flaws with this episode? Well, I do think Frederick was a little annoying at first, and the epic side of Samurai Jack, though good in terms of quality, didn't exactly reach a level of pure awesomeness, and it's that pure awesomeness that is key to my enjoyment of this show. Now join me next time when I review episode 6. Now just remember folks, I don't do this show for praise, recognition, approval, or anything like that. I do it because I want to. I'm That Minnesotan Guy, bringing you all quality entertainment since 1996. Or is it 1986? I don't know. I'll see y'all next time.